Hello, America, and hello, world. Good morning, Pilipinas. Welcome to our The Teacher Voice, and this is a 45-minute show that aims to give teachers the opportunity to talk on air about their unforgettable journey, thrilling adventures, and share their splendid wisdom to inspire our listeners and viewers. I am Teacher Judy, your host for tonight, and Tita Josie. This show airs by the Philippine Las Vegas radio station located in the heart of Las Vegas every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And in the Philippines, it's Sunday 9 a.m. in the morning. But before tayo mag-proceed sa program natin, I want to greet our teachers all over the world. I want to greet them good morning and good evening, especially there in the Philippines. Good morning there. So, tonight we have a very, very special guest. She is so close to my heart. And I want to read the bio sketch of this person. She had a substantial classroom teaching experience, 21 years in the Philippines and 24 years in the United States. She is a renowned educator and a co-author, writer, and a contributor in the Philippines and USA. She graduated cum laude with the degree of Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, Master's Studies in Education specialized in Child Study, and Teaching Mathematics, and academics completed, and Master's in Reading. She was a co-author, Building Math Skills, and a series of textbooks and teacher's guide. Ateneo Grade School. Was selected for honorable mention in the Sister Eileen Murphy, DHM, and John Duffy in Creative Curriculum Materials Completion Award that is entry here in the United States. She worked 9 years as a Catholic teacher for the Archdiocese, of New York in 1988 to answer their teacher shortage that time. Being a deep-rooted educator, he experience and expertise gave her confidence in facilitating workshops and seminars to use games to make mathematics fun and the annual teachers conferences. She received commendation for a lesson that integrates Catholic values in a subject by the Archdiocese here in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very, very honored to introduce to you my friend tonight, the Mrs. Pacita Ros. She will tell us about the life of a retired teacher. We will get some information and tips from her, how she was able to survive as a teacher. And she will give us tips how to enjoy life after the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Mrs. Pacita Ros. Hi, Tita. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening, Inday.
Inday.
Teacher Jude. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
evening.
that's true.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm very fine. Thank you, Tita. I am very happy that you came over in our show right now.
Oh, I am very honored to be part of your nice show, The Teacher Voice. I've been following and then I've been watching your guests,
Ah, that's true,
Yes.
Tita. And we're very happy that you are here with us right now.
Thank you.
Ellie is not with us, and Tita Josie, she's coming anyway.
Okay.
All right, Tita. Uh, I have some questions for you, Tita.
Okay.
What have you been up to during your retirement right now?
Okay, that's a very nice question. Okay, you see,
I know you are enjoying very much.
I wear a few hats now that I am retired. Not a teacher's hat anymore, but one is a babysitter's hat. You know, I have grandkids, so when they need some support, they call on me, and we have to assist them. I have five grandkids now, and when they were the older ones, when they were still growing up, I would be asked to, pick them up from school or have them when they are not able to go to school, like, they're sick or something like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's being a babysitter grandma.
After
Or
classroom,
or I
after your
also
life. Yes.
I also am a cheerer. You see, my eldest granddaughter is a very good volleyball player
Yeah.
in high school, and grandma is always present at her games, and
Oh,
I'm the loudest cheerer.
you
Yeah,
are the
it's fun.
cheerleader
Yeah,
of
the
the
biggest
family.
cheerleader. And of course, there is traveling. The world is so beautiful. I
I
need to go.
know you love to travel
Mhm.
with your husband. I know that. I see most of your pictures there in Facebook. So tell us, where have you went to? Where did you go? Tell us, Tita.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see, we finished visiting all the seven continents in the world. The
Mm.
last one was last March before the pandemic, thank God. We went to Antarctica. We were
Mm.
there for 11,
I
yeah,
saw
11
that.
days. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And the other continents, we did that before. Like, they're all beautiful. Africa is so beautiful.
Mm.
Of course, Asia, our dear Asia. Then Europe is so much fun. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, we are very happy that we have the opportunity and the blessings
Yeah,
to be
yes.
able to travel. And traveling is not done yet. We will go after, this after this thing is over. We pray to God, and we want to
You
travel.
will go around the
Yes,
world again.
some more. Yeah.
Oh yeah. When did you retire?
I retired in 2012, so that's 8 years ago. 2012, 8 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
so just 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Yeah.
All right. And how long you have been teaching for the whole, summarize the years?
Yeah, like you said in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I had
When,
I have 25 years experience in the Philippines in both public and private schools, and in the US is 24 years also in both public and private settings.
so that means more than
45 years together.
45
45,
years.
yeah.
Oh, so tell us about your life there as a teacher back home. What is the
Mhm.
difference, what you have observed, the difference teaching there
Mhm.
and teaching here?
Okay. All right. First thing, our children, I think, are more. I don't want to say the word, but they're more like too respectful of the teacher. They
Yes.
submit to the teacher. What the teacher says, they do. Even the parents have to, follow what the teacher says.
Mm-mm.
And but of course, we have very limited resources back home in the Philippines, except for when I was in the private school. I was at the Ateneo grade school, and those are the the
Yes.
rich and the
Mm-mm.
famous in the
Mm-hmm.
Philippines, and so yeah, we have all the resources there. But all in all, teaching our children in the Philippines is just as fun as teaching here in the United States, because children are children. They're innocent most of the time.
Yes.
They listen. They're eager, and yeah, they follow. They follow what the teacher says, and yeah, there are many different things about the okay, the resources is one. Then, of course, the monetary return is also another factor. We are paid better here in the US than in the Philippines. Well, we understand that our country
Mm-mm.
is not as
Mm-mm.
wealthy as the United States, but everything was good in the Philippines, and yeah.
In the Philippines, you taught mathematics in there too, like
In
kindergarten.
in the public school system, I was a teacher of all subjects. You know how it is in the
Oh,
Philippines
yes.
now.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, except for home economics for girls and agriculture for boys. A teacher back home in elementary grades teaches everything, all the subjects.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
But
So,
here in, I'm sorry, here in Archdiocese, you were teaching mathematics.
no, in Ateneo, I was a mathematics teacher for 10 years.
Oh,
Okay. When I got here, I was again a teacher of elementary in the Catholic schools.
okay.
Yeah. That's for 9 years. And then when I transferred to the public school system here in New York City, I still taught elementary school. I'm part of the basic education um, group of teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike your previous guests, Dr. Joy, Dr. Wele,
Uh-uh. Yeah.
Dr. Ray, they are all in the higher education or in graduate school,
Correct.
yeah, or in administration. But
Mm-mm.
I belong to the basic education level,
Oh,
you know, where we teach the children the basics,
oh, yeah.
like in the beginning, how to sit when needed, how to raise their hands when necessary, how to, you know,
I
how
know.
to learn to work in a team, as a team, teamwork, socialization, and of course the basic concepts of mathematics and reading. Yeah, that's what we,
GMRC, good
oh
moral.
yes,
Right.
yes,
Oh,
the values. Yeah, we teach them, and yeah, it's a fun level. It's a very,
oh,
yeah,
yes.
because they absorb things very well and easily,
You are
mostly.
right, Tita. Yes, yes.
Hmm.
And also, you are, I know you. You are known of your active involvement in the community, and even with associations here in America of teachers association. And I know that you are affiliated. You are the advisor of AFTA, and you have all the time, all every year you have this professional development for teachers, like the international conferences. Tell us about this every year, your yearly activity for the teachers and this.
No, not really. The yearly or the annual activity that I did participate in AFTA, the Association of Filipino Teachers of America, was the Balituro. I
I
joined that
see.
every year. In the past, it's not anymore because of some concerns, like, I'm out
Yes, you are.
traveling in the
Uh-uh.
summertime. Then there is the the paaralan sa konsulado every summer.
Yes,
Yes, at the Philippine Consulate General in New York. That's a
correct.
project of the AFTA.
After.
And yeah, I'm very involved in that. Actually, that program I helped establish in 1998. It was conceived
Mm.
in 1998, but was born in 1999.
Okay.
Yeah. So last this year 2020 was the 22nd season of the Paaralan sa Konsulado.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we have the children come in, they learn about their Filipino culture, and
that's so beautiful.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? It's very important. I realize now because when I was the president of AFTA for
Hmm.
4 years, that's two terms.
That was What
from
year was that?
1998 to 2001. That's 4 years. Yeah.
Oh.
I was, yeah, that's after we had established Paaralan sa Consulado. I was a chairperson of many Filipino cultural festivals or Filipino heritage
Oh,
fairs
wow.
in the tri-state. And I realized that it's very important that we do that for the children here. Let me tell you an anecdote. In 2000, in 2000, I was part of this um, project called Pagbubunyi by the
Mhm.
Center for Traditional Music and Dance. It's a
Of
city
what
agency.
association?
It's a city agency. It's run by the
Oh.
government of New York City, Center
Oh.
for Traditional Music and Dance. So we were asked to, it was all about Filipino culture. Pagbubunyi was the title of the project.
Pagbubunyi. What is that in
Pagbubunyi.
English? What is
Pagbubunyi means
pagbubunyi?
celebrate. Celebrate.
Ay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
to celebrate.
Celebration. Okay.
Celebration. Okay. So we did children's games
Mm-hmm.
and storytelling of Filipino folk stories.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while the children were playing, Filipino children, the parents were there. Youngish, like 40 something parents.
Mm-hmm.
They were there, they were watching. And the finale of the game was the pabitin. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, the pabitin.
Pabitin,
So
yes.
the children had fun jumping up and down to catch the hanging, the goodies
Uh-uh.
that were hanging. And you know what? The parents who were there weren't able to resist.
They
They
were
also participated and jumped and tried to catch all the goodies there.
oh.
Now, with that, I realized that it's really good that we should expose our children to these traditional games and Filipino things, because like I said, those parents who were born in the Philippines are now here in a foreign country. you know Somebody had said this before: you can take Judeline out of the Philippines, but you cannot take the Philippines out of Judeline.
Totoo yun.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So they had so much fun. I was watching them. They had so much fun, participating in the pabitin.
Aw.
So, yeah, I think we should do these things for our children here to just, continue with our traditions
Yes.
and
Mm-mm.
culture, expose them, especially if they're born here in the
Mm-mm.
US.
But now the like AFTA is very good on this. I think this is one of their flagship project. They are known of this project of Paaralan sa Konsulado, where you said that the teachers in there, they teach students about the culture of the Filipinos.
Yes, remember I started that in 1998,
Oh,
and
all
I
right.
am so happy that it is going
Until
very
now. Oh,
strong,
yes.
because the any and every administration of AFTA that comes in is so invested in this one. And you know what? The Philippine Consulate General's office is so proud to
Of course.
partner with AFTA to
Mm-mm.
continue with this project, for it's their flagship project, and they were
Mm-mm.
so proud about that.
Yes.
I
And
said.
even, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, even this pandemic, they, AFTA was able to do that on
Virtually,
virtually.
virtually, yeah,
And I know that they got a lot of students from
yeah,
different states. Isn't that
exactly, yeah.
wonderful? Yeah.
It was
And
wonderful, yeah.
and plus the association, the members, the teachers
Yeah,
involved in there, like the officers in there,
and the
teachers,
volunteers, the volunteers,
yes, they are very good in teaching this
yeah.
culture of the Philippines in
Hmm.
with different materials. I saw that the materials are very good and the activities
Yeah. Hmm.
that they
Yeah.
have.
It
And
keeps.
also you are a contributor also to the Philippine Journal of Education in Math lesson. Until now, is this still going?
No, no. I did that only when I was a we are when I was in the Philippines at the Ateneo Grade School. Yeah, the Philippine Journal of Education asked me if I could write lessons in math, and
Oh,
they published those lessons. And so I was able to do it for 1 year. Had I stayed longer, I would have continued doing it. But it's just when I was coming here to the US, so I quit, and I don't know who took over my
mm,
place, making those math lessons for to be published in the Philippine Journal of Education.
correct. So you graduated in Ateneo.
No, I
Okay.
graduated from the Philippine Normal College.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't know
worked
that.
in Ateneo for 10 years as a
Okay.
teacher of mathematics there. And I
But your
also
profession, you finished as a I mean, your bachelor's degree is
elementary education.
okay.
Elementary education. But
And
when I was hired in Ateneo, I was assigned because of
to
my
teach mathematics.
background. Yeah, because of my background, I taught mathematics there, and I became the
Oh,
grade level, no, subject area coordinator for mathematics for a year. That's before I came to the US again. I was like,
right.
it was like a promotion to a
Oh.
coordinator level.
So tell me about this award, the one that you have from Archdiocese, Sister Eileen Murphy. What
Yeah.
is this award?
Okay. So I
Here
was
in
with
America.
in
In
America, yes. I started my job as a teacher here in the Catholic schools of
Mhm.
New York because they were the ones who hired me from the Philippines. And so
Yes.
in the in my fourth year, I think every year the Archdiocese of New York has what they call the Teacher Institute, not teacher conference, Teacher Institute.
Mhm.
And 1 year they called for submission of lessons, creative lessons to
Oh.
to integrate Catholic values in your lessons. So I
Mm-mm.
submitted a reading lesson where I integrated the teachings of Jesus,
Wow.
So they accepted it. And of course, they said, though it's not one of the major awards, you are given the honorable mention award for your
That's a
lesson.
that's a great award, Tita.
Yeah, it was early on in my career as a teacher at with the Archdiocese of New York here. Then also, I was so um, I was so emboldened.
Mhm.
My confidence in myself as a Filipino teacher was just boosted by the trust and respect that I got from my administrators in the Catholic schools,
Mm-mm.
in my Catholic school, I mean. And when they asked for volunteers again for the workshops and seminars that they offer at the Teacher Institute, I
Mhm.
submitted one also. It's about games to make
They're
mathematics
like
fun.
fun, huh?
Yes, and then they accepted it, and so I did it, and I
Wow,
was
we
so
are
proud
proud
to do it.
of
Yeah,
you with all these achievements you got.
I had to be honest with you, I had to prove to them that a Filipino teacher can do this and do that. I tried very hard, and then one of the pictures
Wow.
I sent you was me dancing the Pandango sa Ilaw during one of the Catholic schools week celebration. I wanted them to see who this Filipino teacher is and what our culture is all about.
Correct.
So
Uh-uh.
I danced the pandango, and then I taught my students about two more folk dances.
But they are Americans.
Yeah, they're American kids. They're American kids because I wanted them to know who or what a Filipina is or what the
Yeah.
Filipino culture is. 'Cause, you know, this is funny. One of my students, I introduced myself as, I'm Mrs. Ross. I am a teacher from the Philippines, etc., etc., etc. And then any questions? And one of the students asked me one time. So he's talking to me now. So you speak Chinese? No, I'm from the Philippines and we have our own language, Tagalog or the Filipino language,
Uh-uh.
etc., etc. And so this child repeated, so you're Chinese, you speak Chinese. So with that in mind, I told myself I have to show them what the Filipino culture is and who a
Mm-mm.
Filipina
Yeah.
is and what a Filipina is.
Yeah.
So I danced that dance, the pandango, and they cheered me because I didn't drop
The
the
ilaw.
the ilaw on my head.
Uh-uh.
I
Uh-uh.
didn't drop it on the
Oh
floor.
my
I didn't break. So I was so proud.
I know
At,
for them that's a big deal. That's
at the end of
wow.
the dance, I took it off my head and then bowed, and they all cheered.
That's so cute. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
it was. Yeah, you know what? As a Filipino teacher, and I think you know what we were like the pioneers here. That time, 86 was the first hire by the Archdiocese.
Oh.
87, I came in 88. There were just a few Filipino teachers
Oh, that
here.
time.
And
Uh-uh.
so we said, we really have to do very well. We have to impress the administrators that we are this, we can do this, we can do that. So we tried very hard. We tried to put our best feet forward, actually.
Mm-mm.
Just so, and I
So,
think it really worked because they continued to hire Filipino teachers.
oh yeah, even until now. Not
That's a
here right
different
now in the
idea.
arts,
Yeah,
yeah, diocese, not
and
this
that's
time.
their diocese anymore.
But during that time, the archdiocese was the school or a body. How will I say this? An institution,
There's
like an
diocese of New York.
organization that hired
Yeah,
Filipinos. Oh,
Church Diocese of New York is the group of, yeah, they have a
how many?
superintendent of schools. And then the time when we came, there were many, many, many Catholic schools. But since about the 90s, late 90s, and up to now, a few of these schools have closed or have
Mm-mm.
merged with other Catholic schools because of the dwindling population or
Correct.
enrollees
Yes.
because of money. Because you pay tuition in a Catholic school, they don't pay tuition in public schools, and because of
Mm-mm.
the economy, the parents left the Catholic schools and
Mm-mm.
enrolled the children in. So there are now a few schools that have closed down, few
Mm-mm.
Catholic schools.
And a few left also right
Oh, there
now.
are there are still some, yeah,
But there
there's
are
still
still,
some.
of course,
Yes,
right? Um, but Tita, as you know, your expertise is you are workshop facilitator and seminars like that.
yeah.
What are some of the subjects that you have facilitated?
Okay, my two loves are mathematics and reading and writing. So
Oh,
most, yeah, I think all of my balikturo presentations and other presentations have been about mathematics,
nothing. Mm-mm.
how to teach mathematics more meaningfully, and reading is a
Fun.
beautiful subject, and I love to teach that too.
Mm-hmm.
So those two subjects are my favorites. That's why.
Correct. Yes. I want to ask you also that after the after teaching the private school or the from the archdiocese,
Archdiocese, yes.
uh-uh, Were you able to teach in public school?
Yes, in my first year here in the US, while I was
Mm-hmm.
still in the Catholic schools, I sat to take the licensing or certification exams
Mm-hmm.
for the public school system in New York City. I sat in 89. It was funny when I was
What do
there,
you mean 89? 1989?
1989,
Okay,
because
okay.
I came here in 1988. So
Mm-hmm.
1989, I sat for the certification test,
Oh,
and thankfully I got it. But
wow.
then I said, "Oh, I'm happy with the here in Catholic school system because it's a small group. It's very
Correct.
intimate. It's like family." But
Mm-mm.
then after 9 years in the system, I said, because I got the license or the certificate to teach in public
Public
schools,
school.
I said, now let me turn this piece of paper, my certificate, to a little
Yeah,
bit more money because it's funny, we bought a house and then
that
money was
time.
a little tight,
Of
paying the mortgage.
course.
So I said, let me transfer now to the public
Mm-mm.
school system. And anyway, the school closed, I think, the school I taught before, Catholic school, I think it closed about 3 years after I left because there were very few students. It had very few students already.
It was because of the financial or
Economy,
economic.
yeah, financial. It
Oh,
was financial,
right.
right?
That's
Mhm.
so it was just perfect timing that you
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that you can say that. You can
correct.
say that. Mhm.
Also, Tita, what is this is a good question for you.
Mhm.
What is your proudest moment in school in the Philippines and here? Tell us.
Proudest moment. You know what? It's a very um, it's a very multifaceted question. Because your proudest moment could be about anywhere, anything. For me,
Mhm.
being given an award is already something to be proud of, right? But it's the very little things that you hear from the students and the parents and your colleagues about you, how good you are, or what they see in you that is nice and should be or must be copied, or you know
Yes.
so
Affirmed it.
those
They know your your work. Yeah.
so I must say that those are the proudest moments I have when I receive very short notes from students.
Mhm.
Mrs. Ross, you're the
Praising you also your hard
best
work.
teacher ever. I had that, something
Correct.
something to that effect.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
those are little things. It's nice to receive some awards from a group, or like I received an award from this community organization from New Jersey called the Philippine Action Concerned Citizens
Oh,
Action
really?
League.
When was that?
In When was that? 2002 or three. I
Mm.
received the Women's Achievers Award in Education. I was the very first one, and then came Lilia was also given that award after me.
So
Then
you must be very, very active when it comes to community, Tita, no?
yeah, I was very active there. And like I
Yeah.
told you, my purpose was for the children, for us to expose, to promote, and to maintain the Filipino culture among our students, among our children. I mean, the Filipino American children. They have to know it and to live it, even for just a short amount of time. And like the paaralan is 5 Saturdays, right? It's for five
Correct.
Saturdays. So
Uh-uh.
even during the 5 Saturdays, they live, the Filipino games, the Filipino art, the Filipino folk songs and dance, the food, and the many other things about their country.
Correct.
So
Yes.
That
Another thing, Tita, we are talking about community involvement, community services. We want, what can you tell or what can you say about teachers on their community involvement? Do you encourage also teachers to do that? And why, Tita?
of course, I think we teachers are one of the best, if not the best, uh, people to be involved in community activities because we know how to instruct, we know how to plan, we know how to implement the plan. We have a lot of ideas that we gather from one another because, for example, this colleague is a science teacher, this colleague is a social studies teacher, that colleague is a gym teacher, that colleague is
Mm-mm.
music, you know.
Yes.
Put together all those very smart heads and you will come up with something beautiful. Like if I go back, I'm sorry, if I go back to Paaralan sa Consulado, the Paaralan sa Consulado has grown so much. It's
Yes.
gotten so big because of the many, many smart heads that when put together are able to come up with something nicer and
Mhm.
bigger and I think more relevant.
Correct.
Yes. So teachers I think must be involved in
That's
the
true.
communities because we have the capabilities. We have our experiences as organizers, planners,
Totoo. Totoo.
implementers.
Talaga, oo.
Mhm.
Before we end this show of ours tonight, ano tita what can you advise for young teachers about teaching as their teaching profession?
Okay. For all, not only the young teachers, for all active teachers now, because I think for retired teachers like myself, it will not be as important now as to the active teachers now. You know, I have this Chinese proverb that I like very much. It says, all the flowers of the
Mm,
tomorrows
morals.
are the seeds today.
Grabe, no?
So you and I and all other teachers, I would consider ourselves sowers of seeds or
Mm-mm.
planters of seeds. Yeah, we plant, plant, plant. What do we plant? We plant concepts, knowledge, information, and most of all, values to
Mm.
build character
Totoo.
or skills. And we should not be um, this. We should not be. We should not worry that our seeds do not grow at
Prosper
all
or grow, yeah.
or grow because they do. Okay, for some children,
Mm-mm.
the seed grows instantly. You see that light light bulb light up in a child's face, when they get it, that's already one flower that your seed had grown into. Some seeds may take maybe months, weeks, or years, but they grow into the flowers that
Wow.
we would want to have. Although we might not know whether they had grown or not,
Mm.
somehow we will know. I'll tell you one thing. Last year, 2019, after about 50 years that I haven't experienced, our town fiesta in the Philippines, I went back to participate in the town fiesta, to enjoy, to have fun.
When was that?
Last year,
Okay,
2019.
okay.
So that's about 50 years ago.
After, huh?
Yeah. So,
Oh.
and then after that, there was this big mass where there are a lot of priests. There were about a dozen priests then, and one of them was my student in sixth grade when I was a very young teacher. Okay, so I approached him and I said, Father Dong, Miss Fombuena here. That's me, my
Oh,
maiden name. Miss
uh-uh.
Fombuena here. And he says, oh, Mom Pasit, of course. And then he called his friend, another priest, and said, come here, come here, come here. That's Mom Pasit. It's from her that I learned how to sing. Can you believe that? I did not I did not teach music for them to sing. It was because I just had to teach it because like I said
You
in
need to
the
teach it because
classes,
that is one of the
one
yeah
of the
subjects.
subjects you teach.
Uh-uh.
So it's from her that I learned to sing because he loves to sing his masses.
Oh,
I did not expect it. I was so
imagine.
surprised that he said it. I couldn't say a word until he said, okay, Ma'am Pasit, oh, we have now to go because they were being called to,
Uh-oh.
so
To start the mass, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, so flowers grow. We may not know it now or
Grabe, no?
soon, but
Totoo.
later we will find out. And I have a few other instances where a student or a parent tells me about a flower that had grown from the seed that I had planted in their children. And most of the time, the flowers that grow are not about the math, the science, the reading that you taught. It's about character
The
building.
values, the
It's
character.
about
Oh
the
my
life
gosh.
skills that they have learned from
Learn from
you.
you. Mm.
Yeah. So not exactly expecting that the flowers we will see, just trust teachers that
Mm.
the flowers will be there. You may not know it now, you might know it later, but
Oh, what a
the
word!
flowers will
Oh
be
my
there.
gosh.
So all the flowers of all the tomorrows are the seeds today.
Today. Oh,
My
so
little
nice.
advice to the teachers.
Very good, Tita. Thank you. I'm just listening and I have learned a lot. That is so very inspirational
Oh, thank you, thank
thought
you.
and message. Okay, Tita, do you have the thought for tonight?
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So, me, I am going to second the motion of what you said. Mine is this: let us not be tired in doing good, because in due time, we will reap that if we will not give up.
Yeah, your words tie up with my word. So
Correct.
just keep
Yeah.
doing it, doing it, doing it
Do
because
it.
we will reap it.
We will.
Whether we know it or not, it's there.
We have to just plant the seed.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Tita, thank you. I am very happy that you are with me right now,
Oh,
and
I'm very
everything
honored.
that you said, really, yung mga wisdom ng mga older sa amin, talagang very rich,
I know
Tita.
I'm old.
No, it's not that. I mean, older than us,
I
mature
know
than
the
us,
ones
right?
ahead of us. Yeah.
Ahead of us, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Especially in your case na you are retired na, alam mo yon, na you experience a lot, especially in teaching profession in this field. So, kayo na mga ahead sa amin, you got a lot of wisdom to share to us sa generation na ito, kahit sa mga students, kahit sa mga parents. So thank you very much, Tita, that na inaccept mo ang invitation to tell us about all these inspirational stories of yours and thoughts and wisdom. Thank you very much.
You're
Do you
welcome
have
very
something to
much.
say, Tita?
You're welcome. And
Okay.
I would just like our teachers to keep the faith. Keep the faith. I know it's not an easy job, it's not an easy task, but your efforts, your dedication and hard work will be rewarded sooner
We will reap
or
that.
later.
Yes.
And to Josie, I won't call her Tita because I know I'm
We
older than
always call Tita.
yeah, yeah, Josie. I hope to meet you again,
Oh,
and
yes.
give my regards to Jo Koy.
Yes, of course. She will listen to this. She will watch this also. So, Tita, thank you very much. And a good
Welcome.
evening to you there. Good evening to all of us here in New York and America. And good morning there in the Philippines. Thank you so much.
You're
Bye
welcome, and
bye.
thank you too. Be
Yes.
well.
You
Bye
too,
bye.
Tita. Bye.